Hey everybody, this is Joe Stereo, John Moxkin. Doesn't matter in this situation, to be honest. And welcome to another episode of Soup Fridays. And also, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I wish I had a green mask with it that goes with this, but I don't. But at least I have a green shirt here. So happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. And today's Suit episode, I think I mentioned this on Twitter. If any of you guys have Twitter or anything, I have mentioned a detail about what that this topic is the really biggest thing that has a lot of fans divided, and it's indeed the one thing that I think a lot of people talk about. And even though I never grew up with this wrestler, I still look at a lot of wrestlers past and everything, and I think this is a big situation. But before I get to this wrestler in particular, I do want to talk about the Blacklist here. No, not the show. I haven't watched the show. People have griped on me about that, and I just don't watch it. Anyway, let's talk about the WWE Blacklist. But actually, let me fix that. The WWE Blacklist. There we go. It sucks. It sucks to be on that blacklist, especially if you are no longer on the blacklist because you died. Ultimate Warrior, well, he's a prime example of getting off the blacklist, but sadly, that's not the case anymore because he died. He's not blacklisted though because he has the ultimate, the not the ultimate, sorry, the Warrior Award handed out since 2015. I think in reality, this is where I question this part. There are a lot of WWE wrestlers that have been blacklisted by WWE. A few of them I'm just going to mention. Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Snuka, well, not anymore since he died. Um, CM Punk, Sable, and the guy I'm about to mention. Oh yeah, China and Randy Savage. I didn't want to put them all on my fingers. I'm going to mention the last guy because I'm leaving that for last. Um, Being on the blacklist, like I said, it sucks. It really does. I don't think Hogan's going to be blacklisted anymore. His name is now mentioned, but he's still scrubbed from the Hall of Fame, from what I heard, from what I've seen. Snuka, I don't know if it's been reinstalled ever since his death, but the whole murder uh, of his girlfriend, it does suck, but uh, it just sucks how he died, though. Cancer, it's horrible. Um, you know, Randy Savage, I'm going to point out there, it really sucks that for Savage and China, Savage who has a Hall of Fame induction, China still doesn't. I think that's going to be next year. The fact that they were blacklisted for a lot of stupid reasons. Let me go with Savage first. This dude idolized the Slim Jim. Oh, oh, Slim Jim. Grab Slim Jim. I can't do Randy Savage. Oh yeah, I can't do it, even no matter how much I try. I think he inspired the Kool Aid guy. I really do. Or the Kool Aid guy inspired him. Um, the thing about him, I don't believe that he slept with Stephanie McMahon. That was the whole reason why he got blacklisted and never mentioned on WWE ever again until his death. But I think it was because he jumped to WCW. I think he still wanted to wrestle, but Vince McMahon said, "No, I don't want you to wrestle." He still wrestled in WCW. It just sucks he got blacklisted still, even though WCW got bought out by WWE. It does suck. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. And you know, the fact that you can only get off the blacklist now these days unless you are able to mend the bridge with the Vince McMahon or the person that or Triple H. It sucks. That really does. China tried doing that again. Sorry for the six cam. China tried doing that. It didn't work. She even went to the damn office in Connecticut at one point, and they turned her away. She wanted to have a meeting with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon said nope. Mm-mm. That just sucks. I don't know why, but I understand why. But here's the thing that I crepe about this, because you did porn, by the words of Triple H, I am the game. Eighth, you have a Hall of Famer who did porn, and her name is Sunny. But even though she did porn afterwards, she tried to sell her Hall of Fame ring. Literally tried to sell her Hall of Fame ring, and you don't blacklist her? Okay, I see it. I know you don't want X Flames coming back and trying to cause the toughest. Yes, China did have drugs and alcohol problems, but who said you didn't have drug and alcohol problems? Who said that? Who? What about Sunny? She might have been had drug and alcohol problems, but you know what? That's not my business. But the fact that China only got mentioned after her death, it really sucks. It was one of the saddest things ever. By the way, the news broke to me when I looked at Brian Zane's YouTube video and I saw China's birth date and death date, and I'm like, what? And I clicked on it, and oh my God, China died. I watched the match literally 2 days before her death. I'm like, oh, come on, no. And that match was the Intercontinental Championship win that she got over Jeff Jarrett, who got blacklisted too, by the way, but I don't want to mention him that much. And, hopefully China does get into the Hall of Fame, but when that happens, I hope Triple H doesn't induct her. No, no, it has to be someone else from DX. I don't want to mention that much about CM Punk. I don't want to cry about him, but his name is not mentioned on Undertaker's WrestleMania matches. That poll that just happened, it's not there. That sucks. That really does. And now let's get on to Sable, second to last. We'll get to the main event to say. Sable, ever since Brock Lesnar came back, Sable has not been mentioned, but there's a pretty good reason for that. Sable has been a horrible person to a lot of people, but this is the reason why she is not mentioned. I don't know if she still has a lawsuit on Vince McMahon, probably not, but she had a sexual harassment lawsuit. It's Vince McMahon, lady. Of course, he sexually harassed a lot of people back then. Even Linda knew about it, but she forgave him. That's your wife right there. That's your wife that forgives you as long as you don't keep doing it. And hopefully Vince did not keep doing it. But they're happy together. That just proves how love can last, even though it comes in strange and sickening ways, including making out with Trish Stratus in front of your wife, who is in a wheelchair and basically a zombie. And sure, one dirty man. But her being blacklisted, I think, is kind of okay for right now. Maybe until she starts mending the bridges with a lot of the female stars that she really, really went off on. I don't know what to say. Now we get to the main course. Fiction, reality. WWE has been a good job of separating that. They separated Jimmy Snuka in a way with that. They separated Randy Savage with that. They haven't separated yet with Hulk Hogan yet, but we'll see at WrestleMania. Maybe it won't. Maybe he won't come back. Maybe he will. We don't know. Let's talk about what happened almost 10 years ago. Chris Benoit. Yep, Chris Benoit. This is one of the toughest things I had to do for this episode because I never grew up with Chris Benoit, but I knew about his death because it was all over the news, and it's horrible. It's horrible what happened. He killed his wife, he killed his son, and then he committed suicide himself. But here's the thing. Yes, WWE didn't know that happened. They did do a little tribute for him. They canceled that show. Was it in Corpus Christi that they canceled that show in? Because that's what I heard the last time I looked it up. But it was sad. A lot of wrestlers loved this guy, but ever since they found out his his what happened, some of them still don't believe that this is what happened. Hornswoggle doesn't believe it. Dave Meltzer doesn't believe it. A lot of wrestling fans I talked to at both Honda Center and Staples Center when I went to the Raw shows, they don't believe. They think it was a conspiracy. Someone must have killed them because there's no way Benoit was able to do this. If he had the mind of an 85-year-old brain, I don't know. I can't side with people on that. I don't know. That I don't know. No, I don't think it's possible to have steroids in your system or eating steroids, whatever he preferred, I don't think you'll be able to do that unless he had a lot of horrible demons and thought Nancy and Daniel were demons. It was it was a tragedy. How do you put it? But there is a rule that after 10 years since it happened, you should you should you should forget things. You should accept it. Look, what he did is did, but you could still separate the tragedy from the reality because Benoit played a character on TV. What Benoit did, that was in reality. WWE, fictional reality. There's ways you could separate it. But sadly, that's not the case with WWE. McMahon stated that we will never mention Benoit, and before you watch a pay per view with WWE, there's a viewer discretion advised. I don't know if they still do that with Benoit matches, and I have seen a lot of Chris Benoit matches when I got the network. Great matches, a lot of them. His matches with Kurt Angle, his matches, that ladder match with Chris Jericho, that was great. Um, his WrestleMania 20 main event win. Oh my God, these were great matches. And it just sucks that they're not allowed to be mentioned. A lot of Chris Jericho's matches can't be mentioned because it has Chris Benoit in them. That just sucks. There's a lot of questions. Should he go into the Hall of Fame or should his matches be reinstalled? I don't think until he's either cleared or they find out that it wasn't him, I don't think he should go into the Hall of Fame because once his name gets inducted, people are gonna it's gonna be a firehouse, it's gonna be this and that, this and that. It's gonna be the 2016 election all over again. And I don't want to live through that. Well, I don't want to experience that. I'll live through it. It's just I don't want to experience it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you separate that. I do believe, however, his wins should be reinstated. His championship wins, his great matches with Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle. Now that Kurt Angle is back, I think in reality he should come back. It is re- really that goes with the blacklist too. That's why I mentioned this. This is why it gets to a point here. What I do, even though it takes a while for me to get to the chase, it does serve a point. Should there be a separation between real life incidents and fictional reality with WWE? Look at Donald Trump. He played a character and himself basically on WWE. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's the first Hall of Famer from the WWE to be the president. Of course, there were people that complained you should remove Donald Trump from WWE, but WWE said we don't mix politics with that. Okay, as long as you don't bring up political storylines, then we're good. We're good. I think WWE's past that. WWE, not WBE. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention that. But I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say on this. I personally believe that Benoit was set up, but I don't know. I'm not Chris Benoit. I'm not the guy that did this. I just don't know. See, this is where I get my brain down a little bit here. But I think it has been a separation from a lot of people. People separate OJ from killing his wife and Ron Goldman. People separate Michael Jackson and him touching children. People separate Donald Trump, even though not many people do, from his actions. There's a lot of people. People separate Stone Cold from hitting Deborah. It is pretty horrific what he did, but that's another example of separating reality from fiction. Which in reality, Stone Cold beat his wife. Fictional reality, he didn't do that on TV. He did abuse women on TV, but that was it. I'm not condoning what they did. What they do, what people do. That is, you shouldn't. A lot of this I'm going to put here, and maybe that'll be in another shoot video with separating reality from fiction. But when it comes to Chris Benoit, this is the more focus here. Uh, it's tough to say. I do think his wins should be reinstated, but as a Hall of Fame inductee, no. Until he is either cleared, I don't think he should be. He should be there. And that's all I have here on WWE Shoot Fridays with Joe Stereo, aka John the Mexican. Doesn't really matter. I do have something set next week, and if you look up, I'm gonna bring them down right now. Next week, I'm gonna be talking about why people need to calm the hell down and understand why these two are fighting at WrestleMania. Whether you like it or not, it has to happen. And if you can't do that, there are two words I have for you. Uh-oh. Oh no, I completely forgot. I completely forgot. Ah! Oh wait, no. Suck it.